Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hanur Syahril. The material I will explain is about the decline of Alexandria mathematics, that waning from that gold age. The end of the 3rd century BC, this say closing the golden age of Greek mathematics, political strike and anarchic condition in 18 proved more and more sting to original LC work and scholarship at the Alexandria Museum Ptolemy 5. The winner in the struggle for power in 146 BC and unful of its predecessor, the enlightened policy toward air and skins was split from a and all people are skinned, and scholars who do not show their loyalty to him. Alexandria lost and rights the world war the Mediterranean to learn notice stimulate into place the excellent Alexandria scholars aid. According to Athenaeus of Nauritis, the king set many Alexandria into exile, filling the island and cities while people who have been close to his brother Philologus, philosophers, mathematicians, musicians, patrons, doctors, and other professionals, and mean the refugees reduced by poverty to teaching what they knew in sculpture many other means, until the Juventus once again broke from the museum. Alexandria was no longer enjoy the primacy that has been held from the learning as central learning to the last country of the pre-Christian era C and steady white stopping the growth of Roman power. When Rome began to growing out of the Italian peninsula, RST obtained mastery over the western part the basin in the Roman army turned to the east to Greece and Asia Minor. Greek Reich conquered in 146 BC. The Roman army changed to the direction of the east to Greece and Asia Minor. Greek Reich conquered in 146 BC and 64 BC. Mesopotamia had fallen before the Roman legion. That decline of Alexandria Ruatis 250. The theoretical study of the Roman and Greek civilization was extended for roughly the same centuries 750 BC to AD 450. In all the time they applied no Roman the mathematics of the notes. The heat of the Roman attention is application of arithmetic and geometry for impressive project engineering. The path which survive even today. Public buildings and the line survive. Even among engineering women. Roman a small amount of mathematics they are necessary can apply in practice without an understanding of the theory in behind it. A group, for example, in executing Julius Caesar plan a survey of the empire was proved to call a specialist from Alexandria to carry out the measurement. Cicero at attitude of the illustration of the Roman intellectual concept for theoretical knowledge in Tuscan disputation he recorded. The people, the Greeks held the geometer in the high honor. What they saw nothing made more Decline progress among the from mathematics. But we have set as limit of this at is usefulness in measuring and corning. This will wrong to conclude that the Alexandria mathematics soon deteriorate what the Roman neglects of or that intellectual stagnation is not can be temporarily captured by the incredibly individuals who work in a specific field. After the establishment of the Roman Empire, a new movement developed in Alexandria and also in many other parts of the empire that accelerates the death of the Greek learning. This is the development of Christianity, a new religion state as a siege with Palestine, Judaism, widespread throughout the Roman war despite polarity but occurring imperial repression, and finally no official recognition as the regulation kingdom. This reversal in condition from the enemy government for subsidies, the regulation of the state subordinate to the emperor is to change the future of Europe and the Mediterranean world. This seems that at first the Christians only is a nuisance, the Roman in the country of their stiff-necked refused to acknowledge the divinity of the emperor, and the movement was allowed to develop with little interference in the second and the third centuries, and as the Roman Empire tortured what internal crisis and often the invasion from the outside, the growth became a scapegoat to blame the disaster as one of the fathers. The crowds of the time Tertullian who observed if the Tiber reached the walls, if the Nile fails to reach a specific, if the heaven holds its rain in earthquake, if any famine, if there the outbreak of disease, at once the cry is raised, are people Christians to the lands? When in 245 250, Germanic tribes for a moment break through the frontier defense 268, even take Athens for a short time, was the emperor issued an order that all citizens should be works of the traditional initiated by the collection is almost entirely in the Western Roman Empire, which lasted for 8 years in the European provinces and 10 years in North Africa and Asia. Constantinople, the production of for Greek learning. Some the next country is not happy time for the empire in overall. There is a constant civil war as on the usurper after the other rose in decline the title of emperor. Some successfully defending plaintiffs themselves above the throne for 10 years. No emperor of the single is quite strong to face the internal threats and internal usurpation in every part of the empire at the same time, so that Constantine was forced at 330 to find people new Christian capital on the old seaside, the Byzantium city. This later became known as Istanbul. After 330, the kingdom was more or less permanently divided into east and west. In Asia country, the Roman state in the west crumbled before the onslaught of attacks the German nation. The so-called invasion of the barbarians first English controlled by the invading section. Then the Vandals and Travelers ravaged Gaul and moved into Spain. Finally, the Visigoths, followed by the Huns under Attila, sieged the Italia. By this time, the Cross in was the person of the Goths Bishop of Rome has taken the place of the emperor as a founder of the internal city. Twice in the year 462 and again the year 465, the Pope, away from the north to Magog, was the barbarians had invaded them to capital Rosetta. Year 476, taken by most historians as the symbol end of the west of the empire. From then, the imperial force, now fully German, was elected as one of their own for general replace the reigning emperor and ruled in under the title of King of German in Italy. In truth, that nil the empire had sown the province here. There is a visible pledge of loyalty the empire and the emperor, and by the 5th century some would care to save the Roman state in the west. But no elite of the Alexandria tradition never really did on the east. All the Byzantine scholars did not attempt original research on their own account. They are actively involved in preserving and multiply copies of ancient works, but no elect of the Alexandria tradition never really did on the east. All the Byzantine scholars did not accept original research on their own account. They are actively involved in preserving and multiply copies of ancient works,